guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I like to talk about the things I wish I knew before I start to learn coding. I started to learn how to code at college in 2016, and before college, I didn't have any experience in coding. I didn't know what coding was. At my first year, I went to a course called Introduction to Programming, but at the lessons, I felt like this course is for the intermediate level. I mean, to those guys who already has some knowledge in the topic, but not for me. So this course was a huge struggling for me because there were homeworks and exams, and I didn't have any clue what happened at the lesson. The lesson was in C++, which is a basic language to learn, but for me it was so hard because I didn't understand what the hell is going on, the lessons. Somehow I managed to pass that class, but in my second semester I had to take the Introduction to Programming 2, which was even worse than the Introduction to Programming 1, because at the second version of the course I had to build on the fundamentals of the previous course, but I didn't get any useful fundamentals, so it was sucks. And I felt like I'm an idiot. I felt like I'm a disaster, that I'm not able to learn how to code because it's too hard for me. But in reality, just the course wasn't for me. And this is the thing I wish I knew then. Because yeah, I had a hard time. After I failed that course, I have redone the course, and after that I took a class which started with the fundamentals, and it was so good. I mean, I felt like, oh, I understand what's going on, the lessons, and I could do the homeworks, the exams. It was hard, it was really hard, but it boosted my confidence, because before I didn't have any confidence in coding, and this subject, and not the subject itself, but that I could learn the fundamentals, it boosted my confidence in coding, and it was so life-changing for me. After I did that course, I started to be curious in the world of tech and the world of coding, and then I started to do projects on my own at home. For example, I started to learn HTML, CSS from Code Academy at home at my free time, and then I started to learn Java from Udemy. So basically I started to be curious about what's going on in the world and how can I learn different languages, because at those three courses that I mentioned earlier, those were in C++, and I started to be curious about what other languages existing in the world. And that time I found some great YouTube channels, which was first Lingua Marina, really good, check it out. It's about business, it's about English, it's about how to build your career, how to start a YouTube channel. And by the way guys, this is why I'm starting this YouTube channel right now, because I'm participating in a course, in a YouTube course by Marina Magulko, Lingua Marina, so check her out. And the other channel, what I like to highly recommend you, is Life of Luba, which helped me a lot in that period of my life when I lost my confidence in coding. I started those courses at my own because of her videos and her advices. So thank you guys so much. You made my life better. Thank you. But back to our topic. Be curious other languages, because maybe at school you suck with one language, but then if you're curious and at home you start to learn new languages, you can find another language which you comfortable with. It's boost your confidence in coding if you try to be curious, if you try out more and more field, more and more programming languages. And I should have practiced at home when I struggled with the lessons at school, because practicing at home boosted my confidence so much. And when I practiced at home, I felt like I'm not that terrible at coding, that it's something that I can learn easily. So the thing I wish I knew before is, when I stuck with a school subject, I struggle with it a lot. Just try out new things at your own, at home, at your free time. So if you are in college and you hate one subject, you hate one programming language because of the homeworks, the exams, just try out new things at your free time. Try to find what field that you are really interested in. And for this, I recommend you my next video, which is gonna be about how to get the highest paid job and what language to learn for each it. Subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss it. Another thing, if you haven't started college yet, I recommend you to start practicing right now. Go to Udacity, Khan Academy, Code Academy. So, and after I got my confidence back, I started a school project in mobile application development, and now I have an internship job in the field. I learn a lot of new things in each day, and it's so good to see that in the morning I had no clue about how I'm gonna do this specific component of my app, and by the afternoon I was able to build that component, and this feeling is so great to see how you improve within one day. And don't forget that coding is constantly changing. I mean, the tech world is constantly changing. We have new technologies every year. The languages are changing, the technologies are changing constantly. Guys, the best skill of a programmer is the ability to learn quickly, to learn new things quickly, because maybe you go to a company to work, but after a year this company find out that they don't use Python anymore, they use another programming language, and you have to learn that other programming language quickly. If you've already learned a language, then if you want to learn a second, third, and so on languages, you just have to learn the new syntax, just to how to write the same thing with different characters. But you've already know the logic at the background, so it's easier to learn the second, and it's easier and easier as you go on. Basically, I know how many languages? I mean, I started with C++, which, okay, was hard for the first time. Then I learned Java at school. It wasn't that bad, it was okay. I mean, the lesson was okay, because I still had to do homeworks, exams, and that kind of stuff, so it was not bad. And then, as I mentioned, I started to learn HTML, CSS at home, and then I started to work in that school project, and for this I had to learn JavaScript, and at my internship I still using JavaScript or TypeScript, which is really similar to JavaScript. This is my coding background. It's not that much, so yeah, as you can see, I am still a beginner, but it's so good to see that 1 year ago I was struggling so much at coding, and right now I have confidence to go to an internship. I have confidence to recommend you to learn coding because I like to learn new things, and I like to see myself while I'm improving. And when I go to internship, when I got a new task, I don't know, in the morning, I felt like, oh my god, I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. So, for example, if I have to build a component for my mobile application, I start to search. By the way, guys, it's really important to be able to use confidently the Stack Overflow, GitHub forum, and that kind of pages because they are really useful, but for the first time they could be strange or they could be a little bit scary because there's a questions and a lot of answers, and not all of the answers are useful. So for the first time it can be scary, but as you use it, just get comfortable with that kind of website. So they could be really helpful if you are stuck with a problem. When I find something, I just try it out, and in this way I can learn how to do specific things to build my applications. And by the afternoon I can see that I improve a lot, I've learned a lot, so it's a really good feeling. That was it for today. I hope you like this video. If you have other things that you wish you know before you start coding, don't forget to share with us at the comment section down below. Bye guys, see you in my next video.